Hello and welcome to Stir Crazy Art Class with Gerald Savine, lesson number 41. Today we're going to be painting the lake itself and the reflections, and hopefully we'll get some of the grass done as well in the foreground. But before we do that, just quickly going to show you these two photographs that I'd taken earlier. Originally I said these were at Chatsworth House, when in fact I made a mistake. It was at Chartwell, the home of Winston Churchill. So I just thought a bit of correction on that one. But again, they're lovely trees, and it was a nice time. But anyway, to get on with this, we're going to be painting this. I've already done some of the water just to get things underway. And we'll be using cerulean blue and purple lake and greens. And I've been mixing ultramarine blue with the green to make it darker. And so I'll press on now. This is just the beginning of laying this down. Working your brush strokes horizontally, otherwise it will look as though the water's going downhill. And I'm just going to be doing a little bit more here. And what I will be doing is, it's quite strong here, we're reflecting here. The things that are near to the edge of the water, they will show up more as reflections, better. So again here. The other thing I'll just say is when you're doing reflections, bear in mind that it's always horizontally straight below. So again, and what I would do as ever, I should do some of it, and then I'll let you carry on. Again, if you look back at the pictures that I've been doing, the ones that are already finished, you can just sort of see how things are. So I'll just very quickly, I'm only just going to do this section here. I'll leave it up to you to get this stuff. And again, you might notice this here. Now that's not a sandy beach. What that actually is are the water reeds that are the side of the loch. And now I'm going to put a bit more blue in now on the water here before we put any more greenery in. Now here again, I'm just going to bring some of this colour down this way. It's the effect of the rippling of the water. But then again here, I'm going to start pulling across this way with the brush. Now I'm using a number 6 brush to do this. Make a bit more of a point, but I'm just going to pull this across here. If you can occasionally look back at the picture we've got up the top here, just to give you some guidance, in addition to what I'm showing you now. While I'm doing these as workshops, which I have done in the past, we have all day to do it, and here we only have maximum of a quarter of an hour per session to try and get things going. So again here, just going to bring in a bit of, again where we got the light, where the water's rippling more, you're getting white light showing up on the water itself. Again, a little bit more. Again, if you did done the needles painting, then you might appreciate a little bit more about putting the water in. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring a bit more of the green in, because we've got the dark greens of here. This is here is the reflections of this. We won't be able to see much of the pine trees in the background, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some lighter, the raw sienna, and again here, imagine that's just sort of reflecting the trees that are there. So again, this is sort of as quick as I can. Now, so here we got, here's a bigger bunch of, group of trees there, and they fade off, and then we get some more reflections going on over here. And I'm going to bring in a bit of the burnt sienna in as well, just to bring in a little bit more colouring into here. Now again, as ever, you've got more time, be a bit more patient than I am. Hoping we have just enough time to put a bit of grass colouring in. Now then, right. So I'm now going to put, I will put some colour in here as well actually, because I want to show you the bit of the painting for the mountain in the background. So again here we got the, just going to dab this across here. And this is the island, Inchmahome Island. Again, you've got the sort of greens, the trees and things that are there. Again, I'll just come part of the way across. I won't come all the way across on this occasion. Wash the brush out. A bit of the raw sienna here. Again, we're just reflecting the colouring. Bit of the burnt sienna in as well, just to darken down in places. Again, look at what we've got up here and get more like that. This is again, it's not perfect, I'm afraid. What I think what I'd better do is bring some a bit more colouring into this area here. Get a bit darker where it's near to the land. Now then I'm going to pick up a bit of the purple lake. I'm just going to flick some of that in here, again to sort of reflect the colour of the mountain. So unusually you could, to see something so far away being reflected, I would, if it wasn't for the fact that that picture at the top there is one I did live, I would have doubted about actually being able to see that so far away. Done a number of paintings in classes of the Lake District and the mountains there, and you just cannot see the mountains being reflected in the lake water. I'm afraid it's very not a brilliant way of doing things, but there we go. I have to get this little bit of the blue now, the cerulean blue, just a bit more of that. Again, if you can keep your brush fairly thin, as I've shown you before, if you pinch the end of your brush, you get a thinner line. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring some the green, whatever, back into this area here. And a bit of the neat raw sienna just to show up, but it's just beginning to get a feeling what's going on there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in now some of the foreground. Again, this is, I'm doing this quite quickly now, so I'm going to go for a bigger brush now. Go back to number 8 for this. I'm going to just thin the paint down in the palette to start off with, and again, if you can remember, we've done the grasses and things. We've not tried to paint carefully around the tree, bits of the tree, but if you dab the colour on, it gives a bit more feeling of the grass, because obviously it's not a flat thing, it's a living thing. And a bit more in the foreground here as well. Got where the roots are, so we're leaving a bit of clear space for the roots to grow. quite sure how much time we've got at the moment, but I hope it's going to get things underway. Right, okay, we've got a bit more time, that's good. Now I'm going to put a bit more. See how far we can get across here. Tidy around the root of the tree, coming across now. Again, just give a bit of what I call squidging around a bit to give a feeling of the roughness of the grass coming through here. What I should do is, between this lesson and lesson 41 and 42, I'll just fill in some of this colouring. So again, I trust that you'll be able to follow through with what we've been doing. Again, it's a lovely part of the world. Whoops, there we go. But then you see, that's a bit heavy, but squidging it around and moving it around, you can come right across. Now I won't go any further that way for the moment. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going back to number 6 brush, and I'm going to pick up some more green to give a bit more definition of the grasses here in the foreground. Because again, don't forget, because we're in the foreground, the detail is stronger, more positive. Colour can be stronger as well. So again, here we're flicking up bits of grass. In reality, again, looking here, there's actually a shrub there, but again, we don't want to get involved with that. I ran out of time when I was actually on holiday to get the painting totally finished off. Obviously, we were doing other things while we were away. So if any of you are aware of that part of the world, there's so much to do, walking and places to visit. But it's nice if you have the time to get your paints out and pencils out as well, and do drawing when you're away on holiday. Again, I have to say that when we go away, we tend to be away from the painting and the drawing, so I don't do as much perhaps when I go away as I ought to. But we go away to relax and enjoy the countryside. Again, I'm not quite sure how much time we've got left, but right, okay, we're okay for the moment. I'll just continue to work the way across here. But again, can you just begin to see how things are working out? It also so happens that this part here, although here is a bit lighter, the sun tends to, because of the trees, tends to be a bit dark. I won't come any further across there for the moment. What I'm going to do is, again, using this particular brush, just wash the brush out. I'm afraid I'm in the habit of walking out with sticking my brush in my mouth. But, again, now I'm just going to bring some more of the purple lake into some of the colouring here. Now the other things you can do is, if you use a little bit of the ultramarine, thinned down, again you can bring in a bit of colouring there, just to give sort of a bit more interest in the water itself. But again, see, it's quite thin. Right, so we'll call that a lesson for this for now, and then we'll get into doing the trees in the next session. So, okay, now I look forward to seeing you again shortly.